ジヘさん、韓国からジヘさんをお迎えして、そして砂場、塩尻から、今塩尻いるかわかんないけど、美
あ、
咲さんを
政治です。
お迎えして、はい、3人でお届けしたいと思います。えっと、長野県の創業企業支援っていうのを、こっち側、反対です。ここの新州スタートアップステーション、SSS って私たち呼んでますけど、SSS がですね、今年度から女性を対象にした、創業企業をもう少し力入れたいということで、新州スタートアップステーションウーマンというのを、始めています。そこの、全体統括ということで務めさせている渡辺さやかと申します。で、この SSSW を全体統括しつつですね、自分の会社だったりとか、自分の非営利法人だったりとか、あるいは今、長野県立大学に大学院が2年前からできたんですけれども、そこで、ソーシャルイノベーション研究科っていうのができまして、そこで、教員をしているというので、私は今、長野市から、昨日から雪が降っている長野市からお届けをしています。で、少しだけですね、本当にたっぷり時間を J さんの話を聞くことに時間を取り少しだけ SSSW の今年度の活動となんで今回ですね、オンラインセミナーで B コープを扱わせていただくのかっていうのを少しだけご説明して、特セッションに入っていきたいと思うんですけども、SSW は今年、県からの依頼があって、今までその女性の相談窓口がなかった。ということで、なかなか女性が、相談しづらかったということがあったので、今日参加してくださっている美咲さんも含めて、女性じゃなくてもいいんですけれども、女性の相談員に自分のキャリアとか事業の相談をしたいというのを受け付けたりして、個別相談というのを受け付けています。で、今回このようにやっているオンラインセミナーというのもやったりとか、あとは、自分の企業アイデアをアイディエーションして、形にしていくみたいなプログラムなんかもやったりしています。で、来年度もですね、この女性起業家支援というのは続けていく予定だということで、県から聞いているので、来年度もこういう活動を続けていく予定です。で、今回、先月からですね、12月からこのオンラインセミナー、今日で2回目になりますが、4回シリーズで、お届けをしています。りりあちゃん、もし4回のあれってすぐ出るかな出ないかなあ、
ごめんなさい。あ、
すぐ出
リンク
なかったら
でお送
大丈夫です。
りします、この後。
はい。12月はですね、日本で初めて飲食業界で B コープを取得したオブゴの、溝口さんに参加いただいて B コープなんで取得したんですかということをお聞きしました。で、今日は本当に韓国を代表する社会起業家で、私もすごく尊敬する社会起業家のジヘに参加をしてもらって、なんで B コープ取ったかもそうですし、韓国の今の B コープを取り巻く状況だったりとか、社会起業家を取り巻く状況ってどうなんですかみたいな話を、お聞きをする予定です。で、3回目、1月ですね。1月は、東南アジアのホテルとして初めて B コープを取得した、バリにある、アースカンパニーさんが運営しているホテルがあるんですけれども、そのホテルを経営している浜川明日香さんに、2月は登壇いただきます。で、3月はですね、今日鳥居さんにも、見ていただいてありがとうございます。今日も鳥居さん、バリューブックスの取締役で、まさにこの B コープのムーブメントを日本で作っている方の一人だなって、本当に思っているんですけども、鳥居さんと、長野県で初めて B コープを取得したわざわざの代表の平田さんに、来ていただいて、B コープってやっぱり、結構首都圏だったりとかにある、クォーターがある、企業さんが取得している場合が多いんですけれども、地域で、長野県だったりする、そういうところで B コープを取得している企業、なんで取得したのとか、取得をしたことによって地域にどんな影響があったんですかみたいなことを4回目は聞いていく予定です。っていうシリーズの今日は2回目になります。はい。で、最初にイリアさんからもお話をしていただきましたが、ジーヘとのトークは英語でやりますが、私が簡単に日本語に訳しながらセッションを進めていきたいと思ってます。で、美咲さんからの質問は美咲さんが日本語、英語で話をしていただく予定になってますが、ぜひぜひ、今日参加してくださっている方も、日本語でも英語でもいいので、チャットでもいいですし、今日は参加者もそんなに多くないので、もう顔を出してですね、直接質問したいよっていう方がいたら、手を挙げていただいたりとかしながら、質問を投げていただいてもいいかなと思っているところです。はい。そんな感じで、I just finished the introduction, introducing about like our online seminar, both series and our like prefectural support for the women entrepreneurs in Nagano. So I wanted to just start about this talk session. And thanks again for joining us today, Jihye. Thank you for joining, Jihye-san. And Misaki-san from Sunaba. ありがとうございます。
お願いします。
So first, I want to ask two of you about your brief introduction. So first, to Jihye, could you introduce about you and your company?
Yes. Actually, before start, I have prepared the English manuscript in advance for some questions. So I will read it. Please understand in advance, my English is not good. But anyway, I am a social entrepreneur who has been running a social enterprise in Korea for 15 years since 2008. Our company, OYORI Asia, is the second social enterprise that I founded. It's been 10 years this year. Our company has a vision of social business for Asian women. It is helping to become economically self-reliant in food business for women and young. That's my short brief.
Okay, can I translate?
Yes.
Can I translate in Japanese? 簡単に紹介しますね。ジヘさんですということで、オヨリエイジアという会社の、創業者であり、今も CEO をされていますけど、2008年にオヨリという、会社を立ち上げて、韓国としては、2社目の社会企業だと話をしてました。で、私が紹介の時に韓国を代表するとお伝えしましたが、もう15年ね、社会企業をしている方で、オヨリエイジアというのは、韓国に移住をしてきている移民の女性たちがなかなか仕事に就けないということで、レストランを作って、そこで彼女たちを雇用をして、エスカルフードというか、ちょっと韓国料理ではないお料理を提供するレストランを経営されてます。Sorry, go ahead.
That's it.
Okay, it's okay?
Yes.
じゃあ、美咲さん、お願いします。
はい。日本語で大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫です。はい。
はい。はじめまして、岩井美咲と申します。私のこの背景の写真になっているのが、今日、参加している、砂場というところなんですけれども、砂場というのが、2018年に、長野県塩尻市で、オープンをした、シビックイノベーション拠点と呼ばれるものになっています。で、シビックイノベーション拠点のシビックイノベーションっていうのは、一部のそのカリスマ人材だけが何か世の中に変化を起こすとかではなく、一人一人誰もが自分が抱える課題だったりとか欲求っていうのを自分の力で、達成するっていうことができれば、多分世の中ってどんどんこう良くなっていくよねっていう、なんかその一人一人から生まれる、イノベーションっていうのを、意味して、作っている造語になっております。で、砂場ではこうした、このオフィスの中で、コワーキングっていう機能もあれば、インキュベーションのプログラムのような、プログラム機能があったり、あとはそのシビックイノベーションという世の中で広めていくための、ムーブメントを起こす、カンファレンスだったりツアーだったりっていうのを、やっているラボのような機能もありまして、やっております。で、今回私がこう参加する中ですごくインパクトマネジメント、インパクト、メジャーメントっていう、こう測定をするってところに興味があるっていうこともあって参加してるんですが、それはN1 道場という砂場がやっている高校生の起業家教育プログラムっていうのがありまして、その中でも過去2年にわたってインパクトレポートっていうのを発行しています。B コープではないんですけれども、同じようにこうソーシャルインパクトを図るっていうのをこうどういうふうにやっているのかっていうのを知りたくて参加をしております。今日はよろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございます。よろしくお願いします。さっきこのセッションが始まる前に英語ではジヘさんに自己紹介してもらったので、英語のところは簡単でもいいと思うんですけど、日本人でない参加者の人もいるので、簡単に英語でも美咲さんの自己紹介してもらってもいいですか？
はい。My name is Misaki Wai. I work as a community manager at Sunaba, which is Civic Innovation Center, located in Nagano Prefecture, Shiojiri City. And as a office, we have 3 different components. 1 is a co-working function, and then 2 is an incubation program function, accelerator. And then the 3 is a labo laboratory function. We, Tsunaba, define ourselves as a civic innovation center. Civic innovation is that innovation comes from everyone, not just only limited charismatic people can change the society, but also we believe in everyone can make a change in a society, and we try to encourage the culture in this local community. So the reason why I was super fascinated by this event is that myself is also doing impact measurement for education entrepreneurship program for high school students in Jihye City. It's not using B Corp measurement, but we sort of developed our own impact measurement system. So I'm really excited to talk the practicality and also realistic part of measuring impacts with OYORI Asia and Jihye-san. Thank you so much.
ありがとうございます。So, I and also Misaki-san have lots of questions to Jihye. I will move to the question to the Jihye. But before talking about B Corp, I mean, most of us, including me, when I have visited South Korea maybe 5-6 years ago, so I don't know how it changed during the COVID-19 in Korea, especially on the social enterprise, environment. So could you briefly share us how is the situation or how is the environment for the social enterprise in Korea? And I know there is a certificate by the ministry about social enterprise, but including that, could you share about the situation and supporting system or any change about social enterprise? And I will translate that in Japanese. 最初の質問はですね、B コープに限らず、韓国の社会企業を取ります状況についてどうなってますかっていうことをお聞きしています。Please.
So, it has been 15 years since Korean social enterprise have become actually the Korean government certificate the social enterprise. So, and then until last year, there were many government-led social enterprise, such as supporting salary for social enterprise that create jobs. So, recently, there are about 3,300 social enterprise certificate by the Ministry of Labor and 2,200 prospective. It is kind of pre-social enterprise. And then there are intermediate support organization in each region in nationwide. So various support projects such as R&D of social enterprise was supported. And then our company is also certificated as a social enterprise by the Ministry of Labor in 2014. But the last year we changed a lot. Our government changed their plan last year. So all intermediate support organization for social enterprise across the country has been stopped to supported by government. And this year, salary support has been reduced almost 90%. And actually, in Korea, the only official measurement social impact office is the Ministry of Labor. But you might be curious about what is the impact measurement in Korea. The private side. The private side, SK company, it is very big company in Korea, operating the impact measurement. They call SPC. SPC judged the value of social enterprise for the past 7 years. To explain more, once a year, the social value of a social enterprise is converted into the numbers and money. So they give to us the real money, compare with the social impact. So our company was also in its first period as a SPC. So we did the SPC for 5 years. It participated in the measurement of the social value of the OYORI Asia. If you create a lot of social value that year, we get paid a lot. I mean, the real money they pay. SPC is a method of determining its value by focusing on the company main social objective. But the B Corp is, they check 4 category as a social impact. They check the social impact, governance, workers, community, and customs. But the SPC just a measure just focus on the main social impact in my company. I mean the social enterprise. And Korea government just measure job creating and business and helping the people. That kind of measurement they have in Korea government. I mean the Ministry of Labor. So in Korea, I think that the government just focus on the result, outcome of the outcome. So outcome of the they are supporting. But I think that the SPC is for the going to focus on your main social goal or value. And then B Corp is very various side of the social impact they focus on, I think. So that's what I experienced in Korea as a social enterprise and as a social entrepreneur, and for the social impact in Korea.
Thank you for sharing. Well, I try to translate in Japanese by the text.
Yes.
できるだけいっぱい喋れるように聞きながら日本語をちゃんとすごい簡単な訳を打ってるんですけど、漏れてるところもあるかもしれないですけど、これを見ていただいて、よくわかんないよとか、もっと詳しく話したのに言ったらごめんなさい。できる限り喋る時間を長くしようと思ってますが。Thanks for sharing. I was surprising that like last year, the Korean government has stopped supporting the intermediary. It's shock.
We expect that actually. Finally.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, is it the national government or like a city government?
National government just stopped. Yes. But some of
without...
Yes.
Go ahead.
But some of the small region they still support, but from the national government they stop, so they don't have any help actually. So I think that in 2 or 3 years they will stop all, I think. I guess. But we do not hope.
But without any, support from intermediary, it's might very difficult for the pre-social enterprise to start their business or scaling up, their business. But how?
Yes. But I think I think that the government side 15 years enough, I think. And then they support a different side. I mean, for focus on the R&D kind of, not for the salary. I mean, for people. They just stop that one very big side. And then they announce, we will still support for the R&D, but many the intermediary and then the real social enterprise very helpful for the poor people. I mean, create the job for the disabled, the poor people, the single mom, and that kind of stuff help us a lot. But now we change a lot. And then after they announce that kind of stuff, some of the social enterprise stop their business. But many of social enterprise still going on. So do not worry too much. I think we're gonna survive. Don't worry.
Yeah, of course. As you know, Jihye or other like how do I say, kind of role model of the social enterprise in Korea. You are the role model, and at the same time, you might be, can support the young entrepreneur. And thank you for the comment. Yeah, that's so sad. Oh, thank you. If you can talk about, share about the situation in Korea, thinking in other intermediary.
Other intermediary.
Yeah, no, I'm not an intermediary, but just a little bit connector and also catalyst, I think.
Yes.
And I think that Jihye already summarized everything, but I just want to mention that for the last few years, actually there is a quite serious discussion about the exit plan. So because everybody knows the government cannot support, especially the salary forever. So everybody thought when might be the good time for the exit, and it was somehow overlapped with a political change. So probably people interpret different way, but as Jihye mentioned that 15 years is not short period to support. And anyway, there is some change, but I think the bad thing is actually it was happening after COVID, because social enterprise, social ventures, including the other business, actually really struggle to survive for the last few years, right, under the COVID-19. So that's why I think this decision from the national government is more giving a more difficult influence to each individual social enterprise or venture, I think. So that's the, timing is very important, I think. So it's, but as Jihye mentioned that somehow, we are not just start this work because of the government support. So definitely the people trying to find a way how we can keep going on what we have been doing. Yeah. So
that's very strong message. Yeah. Well, I just share with Jihye before starting this seminar, like in Japan, like national government, the Minister of Economy now kind of try to push the movement of B Corp. So starting from, I just say the last year. So I think that Korea and Japan have similar history on social enterprise. We maybe in Japan also like these 15 or 10 years after, especially the East, Great East earthquake. In 2011, we kind of the social enterprise, the concept has started and many social enterprise are founded. And now the government is also supporting social enterprise and also the kind of movement of B Corp. I'm sure Teresa is more like familiar with this topic, but I will ask the next question to Jihye. As I mentioned, like kind of like Korea and Japan is kind of similar history of social enterprise, but in Japan we don't have any certificate by the Ministry of Social Enterprise. But like today, as of today, I checked the B Corp number of the B Corp in Japan. It's 36 B Corp certificate in Japan, and also in Korea 28 certificate company, but it is still small number compared to USA. Yes. But how do you, one question is, why did you get the certificate, or why did you start to think about to get the certificate by the B Corp? And second question might be, is any change, after you get the certificate by the B Corp, any change by the, I don't know, customer or the government or the investor? Could you share about that, your experience?
Actually, the 2018, that time we were planning to expand Nepal business. So that's why if I want to go Asia, I need some global certification. That kind of dream. So I prepared that certification. But after the B Corp, I stopped the Nepal business because of the COVID. So
right. Yeah.
yes. So,
Mm.
but anyway, the ESG issue in Korea, the more people understand the what is the B Corp, and then they recognize the international and then American style certification. So it is getting more popular. But anyway, actually the investor side, actually I don't know, the Ministry of the Economy, something like they have some credit for the B Corp, for the social enterprise, social venture, or something like. If we get the B Corp, they got they will give some credit, but there are a lot of ways to get a credit without B Corp, so it's useless. So I think that if I expect that if I get some B Corp in Korea, I will more some credit. But actually, that time I already famous, and then we already have a kind of the company history. So I don't think that I get some good or good point from the B Corp, only B Corp. But anyway, after I study and then get the certification from the B Corp, I learn a lot social impact. That's the very good point for us. I mean, in our company, because we already have social investors in my company, and then I got the SPC measurement. So I experienced a lot as a social enterprise and the social impact. The measurement question and answer, and then is this our social impact? Is it real? Did we really doing good or not? That kind of stuff we already experienced and study a lot in my company, Step and me. So for the B Corp, I study a lot, and then they think very different compared with the Korean. So as a social enterprise, and then they doing very manageable score, and then they put the score that's very shocked for me. So it is very kind of Asian spec, and then the Western style. The difference of the I learn how do they measure the social impact, that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot, but I did not good business impact from the B Corp certification.
But do you think it was good for your company to get the certificate to learn about other aspects of social impact, or like other, as you said, like Asian viewpoint of the social impact, and also Western like social impact idea, but it was good for your company to understand that.
Actually, I will change my word. I mean, not Western. I mean, for the international certification, when we get some certification from SPC, it is very, this is our company things doing normally. But from the outside of the country, I mean, international certification, wow, the kind of our colleague response. Actually, as you know, we have a Michelin one-star restaurant. So that kind of international certification give the colleague have a self-esteem from the outside of the country. We certificate by ourselves. So that kind of stuff for our company people, just yes, we are social enterprise in Korea. Yes.
That's a very interesting point. And I want to know about the your colleagues, like a mindset change, or you try to let them understand what is the B Corp. Before the session, we have chat about how did you try to understand the the B Corp to your employee or colleagues. It's sometimes difficult, what they don't have no idea what is B Corp, but how did you explain and how did you explain about the merit or benefit to getting this B Corp?
Actually, I don't explain the benefit of the B Corp for our company people. Actually, I explain what is the B Corp is, and then we had already the books. I mean, there are some of the books in Korean books about Patagonia and B Corps. I already suggest to read all these books. Actually, they read all about that. And then if some young people have an internship in my company, they should read the kind of books, 2 or 3 books about B Corp and social impact and then Patagonia. So we should learn about what is the social impact in the world, and then as a Korean social enterprise, we should learn about what we are doing in Korea. So as a social enterprise and then social enterprise and then social entrepreneurs. So that's why I suggest to read about the books about the social impact, and then they know what is the social impact. And then I explain when we analyze every year, we submit the SPC measurement. So every year I read about and then explain about what was our social impact in SPC. And then last year I have a second, the B Corp certification. I analyze every day. And then one day I explain about our social impact to our real business sector, and they explain what is the social impact to everyone in my company. So they understand what they are doing in business side and social side. So I try to explain what we are doing as a social entrepreneur in our company in OYORI Asia as a businessman. So I try to explain many sides actually. So they do very well, they understand, and then they compare with the Korean SPC and Korean government side measurements. So I think that I'm so sure that they learn a lot like me. So yeah, we are doing ourselves.
Wow, that's very great and very important point, I think. And that, like a staff or colleague, including Nepal staff as well, like not only Korean staff, but also the staff in Nepal.
No, not at all. We still have a Nepal business, and we support and invest them. So they have a 4 cafe mitini. I mean, they have a 4 cafe, and then she make a lot of money. Rich woman become, yes, and then she is one of our social impact in Korea. And then I support many material and then many paper from their side. I mean, social impact and business impact in Nepal. I support B Corp and then SPC and Korean government. That's one of our social impact. We still have R&D and support them.
Yeah, that's great. チャット欄にも、書いたりとか、美咲さんもゆりえさんも、チャットでフォローしてくれてありがとうございます。すごく面白いポイントだし、この後美咲さんに多分興味があるんじゃないかなと思って、質問を振ろうと思いますけど、スタッフにきちんとその B コープは何かとか、社会的インパクトについて説明するっていうところはすごい大事だなと思っていて、I think I will ask the other question to Misaki-san because Misaki-san also mentioned that as a snubber or as one of the project, she is creating the impact report. And to creating the impact report, I'm sure like setting up that what is the measurement point is kind of important, topic. And at the same time, I think to understand as Jihye is explaining about what is the impact, social impact and business impact to your colleague, it's very important. So the same idea, like Misaki-san, I want to know about how do you share to your project team, what is the impact of your project when you are creating or measuring the impact of your like in one dojo or like that. And if And adding that, if you have any question to Jihye, please ask the Jihye. But first question to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. So before I start, I think I'm gonna share the impact report I'm making annually on the chat. So if you open it, it shows the impact report of entrepreneurship program for high school students in Jihye Lee area. Unfortunately, it's all written in Japanese, so I don't think you can really understand like what's written. But so while I was hearing your story about the how the B Corp or SPC sort of results is sort of impacting your colleagues or your stakeholders or your employee, I was really resonated with the idea of empowering, because we also do this impact report annually, but also while we are doing that, we can constantly looking at the value we are creating, and then like what kind of impact we are really like get out of the program to the society. So this program was part of the city council project, but back then they only had the number of participants and then the number of business opened in the end. But like, in my opinion, it's really hard to get to the outcome. It's quite incremental approach. So we had a sense of urgency to sort of define what's kind of impact we are creating through the project and through the program, and then we also wanted to have a like open discussion with many more people. So I think it's really like a variable to get sort of like external validation through this sort of B Corp or any other measurement. So yeah, like I think, sorry, what's the question? Was it like?
My question was related to that, you are creating the impact report, that when you are creating the impact report, what is the difficulty to set the measurement items? And how do you share that impact, like the measurement metrics with your stakeholder or project members? That was the question.
Yeah, okay. So in order to create the impact report, we firstly needed to create the logic model. That was the hardest part in our process. And like I asked earlier, we couldn't do this by ourselves, because it's sometimes if you are doing like full-time this program, you can't really like get the objective view on your impact. So and then yeah, like it's a lot of work to actually measure the impact on like year basis as well. So yeah, like it's maybe the hardest part to actually making this logic model and constantly measuring the impact is a difficult part, I in my opinion.
So creating like you said, like hardest part is the logic model. Do you have your like a special team or expert team to create the logic model? It's the same question to Jihye. But when you getting a lot of impact measurement of B Corp or like SPC, do you have experts of group in your company? The same question to both of you.
So in my team, we have a third party, which is actually university students, a group of university students who wants to learn about impact measurement. So luckily, I had a connection with them, and they're actually joining our team, and they're doing all the questionnaire and interviewing students and the stakeholders. So we have a basically weekly basis meeting with them, so that we get the feedbacks from them, and we sort of like also give them some input of what happened in the project. So for me, it's really helpful to have them as a third party.
It's true. It's very lucky you get that kind of third party to support you to creating the logic model and impact report. So how about, OYORI ASIA? Do you have an expert team, or Jihye, you do it yourself?
Team. But anyway, I think we prepare B Corp or SPC. We actually general director and I discuss what's gonna be next, and then we need to prepare. Actually, before the SPC, we are preparing for the annual report for the stakeholder. So every year we preparing annual report for the stakeholder. So we need to explain what we are doing. So the first time, like Misaki, I understand what is the what we done in here. I mean, in this year as a social entrepreneur or social enterprise. So we try to our category find the category. So we cannot find category as a professor. So we try to just write what we change in for the young people, woman. So for example, our single mom, we have to have some actually for the lawyer for divorce and support some housing kind of. So we try to, and then the helping the R&D for the Nepal, our partner. So we cannot start category first. So we try to just sentence, we doing this. And then last year she got a salary, blah, blah, US dollar or the Korean one. And then this year she got a salary, the salary high up, blah, blah. So we change the number and then support their lifestyle, that kind of stuff first. I remember that our annual report like that. But now we have a 10 years annual report. Our Nepal almost 7 years, the change salary and then the economic situation. And then the kind of number and kind of the quality, the sentence, we change their life, blah, blah, blah. Like that kind of stuff, we have just the, this is our social impact for some small section in my company for the stakeholder. But after SPC and after B Corp, I can have just one sentence. We got the B Corp as 5% in globally, kind of. They understand very well. And then like a SPC, they want to, what is the money value from the SPC? We got the 500 something money. And then, okay, you did small, but you did in social impact. So I don't think the size is not important. We doing this, and then we doing as a social enterprise, and the keep doing this like a social entrepreneur. So we don't have any in charge of the social impact measurement in a team, but every team has their social duty kind of, or social mission as a social entrepreneur in OYORI Asia. So each business have a social mission each, actually. So we always keep talk about every time we have a business meeting. our social mission, this kind of, in this project, our social mission is blah, blah. And our business mission is blah, blah. We always discuss about a whole business. If we don't have any social business, okay, let's make money a lot. So we always talking about social mission, in company every meeting. That kind of stuff. So nobody has a duty as a for the social impact, but everybody has a social mission. So if we have the major time, I mean for the SPC, I email to everybody. I need the SPC, the score, and what is the social mission. Just put together data, and then we just arrange and then go to the data to the SPC. So that's what we done. So I think that first time was just for me. That was just for me. But now is everybody doing their social impact in their job. So we don't have any charge of the social impact, I think.
Interesting. And thank you for the sharing that. And it's so sorry that we are running out of time. We have nearly 5 minutes left, but Tori-san, thank you for the translation, but we need to set another session about the B Corp Korea and Japan.
Definitely.
So maybe the last two questions to Jihye-san. So other question, I want to know more about the how to get the B Corp and how is the difficulty to get the certificate of the B Corp. When we have the different, we might have a language barrier. So I think that first you try to get the B Corp certificate in 2018. You said OYORI Asia didn't have a score of less than 80, right? But how do you get the higher score? How did you analyze, to get the higher score and to get the certificate? And how did you, other question to that is how did you overcome the language, and maybe the different culture difference?
Actually,
the B Corp,
yeah. Actually, the B Corp question, they have a lot of studies, papers over there. They connect the UN, USDG, and then they have an explanation about the question, and then what is the answer, what they want. So, but it is a lot because the question is 270.
Right.
It's too much. So we cannot read at all. So just first time we under 80, we just directly email and then ask to the US, what's wrong with us? And then they just like a normal answer. So we try to understand what is and then we try to make a question and then put the question and then they hide the score. And then we try to our best actually. And then that time our business was so high. So it connect to the social impact. So we feedback and we support and we submit a lot of the papers for our social impact. It's a lot. So that was very easy. But now after COVID, I struggling to be a B Corp. I got just 80. I didn't have any social things because of the business is not good the COVID time. So anyway, if you doing business well and social things, you're gonna good score in B Corp. Anyway, they have a very good and nice explanation to the what is the question. So you need to read first. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. ありがとうございます。美咲さん、訳してくださってありがとうございます。そう。1回目の2018年の時はすごい、 最初80見たなかったんですけど、その後高いスコア取ったけど、やっぱりコロナの影響で飲食業ってこともあって、ビジネスがうまくいかないと、2023年の再度の認証を取りに行くときは、今の説明ではあんまり説明なかったですけど、質問項目も結構変わったっていうのをすごくジヘは言っていて、質問項目変わったのもあるし、コロナの影響もあって、そのビジネスの状況が良くなかったので、ギリギリ80点ぐらいだったっていう話をしてくれていました。ありがとうございます。あと3分ぐらいですけど、美咲さんすいません。最後に質問があればっていうところなんですけど、どうですか？ジヘさんとかに質問ありますか？
聞きたいことがいっぱいありますね。
2回目やりますかね、また今度ね。はい。
Maybe to conclude the session, like maybe my last question would be like, what's your next move? Like your future plan or anything regarding this B Corp or, you know, as a social enterprise, any next step?
Actually, our company has a new business after COVID. So we changed a lot. And for a while, I will not focus on social impact. I need to be a business impact because of the social impact. I learned a lot from the COVID time. So that's why I should focus on the business first. And then after that, I will finally focus on the social impact in the future. But now I need to focus on the business side. And then I am doing AI, IT business in the food business. Yes, data business. So I invested already. And then from the impact side and the other AI social enterprise, they invest us. So now I have a new business, but I will, and then this year I will using the data to the market and the food business. So I will not go far away from the social business at all. But we were using the data and then IT business for the social things. So I will not go far away. But for a while, I will focus the business. That's what I learned from the COVID time because social things need the money. Yeah, so if I want to be a social impact, I need a business. So that's why I focus on the business in these days.
That is strong, your important message to include. Thank you. And Misaki-san said, and I think Tori-san as well might have a lot of questions to Jihye, but let's set up the next session, maybe in the future. But thanks to Jihye to sharing a lot of your experience and insight.
And also, Seungkyun-san. Thank you.
Seungkyun-san.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to join us. Thank you so much. And also it was nice to join this session. Look forward to next one.
In Japan
or
Korea.
In
Japan,
come to Japan.
Yes. Please.
Hopefully.
そして鳥居さんもありがとうございます。途中訳していただきつつ、4回目のセッション鳥居さんと一緒にやらせていただきますが、楽しみにしてます。みんなをなんか引っ張り上げてしまってますが。はい、ありがとうございます。Thanks again for joining us and sharing the time today. And let's hopefully to see you soon in person in the future.
For sure.
ありがとうございます。これでセミナー終わりにしたいと思います。この録画を見てくださる方も、ぜひぜひなんか質問があったらメールとかチャットでいただけたらと思います。鳥居さんも、ジヘも、そしてルンギュもありがとうございます。美咲さんもありがとうございました。今日これで終わりたいと思います。
Thank you.
はい。Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good
afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
そしたら、録画を止めていただいて、バイ。